Welcome back to another edition of Running with James. It is race week. This is what all the work has been for. This is what we've been putting in those miles for, running those hills, lifting those weights, climbing those obstacles. This is what it's all about. So this weekend, we've got a crew from the BC Fit fam going to Glen Rose, Texas to run the Dallas Spartan Beast. Some of us are gonna be doing the Ultra Beast. I say some of us, some folks. I ain't doing the Ultra Beast. 30 miles, 60 obstacles, a lot of climbing. That's not my cup of tea. No, sir. So, but it's gonna be a great time. We got several people going out there. So I thought what we could do this week is do a special video on race preparation. What do we do the couple of weeks leading up, the week of the event, to make sure all that training we've done, all that hard work we've done pays off and we end up on that starting line as strong, as fit, and as ready as possible to crush those PRs and get those podium spots. All right, so we're gonna go over a few things today on what specifically can we do the day of the race. So a couple weeks leading up, you should start your taper, right? You should start kind of backing down a little bit on your training so that those legs can get rested, your body can get rested, your mind can get rested and ready to go. And so the week of the event, the things that I feel are some of the most important things you should do is number one, sleep. Number two, stay loose. Number three is gonna be nutrition or fueling. And then number four is gonna be race ready, being race ready, your race kit, all that good stuff, all right? So first of all, sleep. So sleep is really the thing your body needs. It's where you do your recovery. It's really the best thing you can do to recover. And so the week of the race, do your best to try to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep every single day. Now those 8 to 10 hours don't need to be all at one time. Maybe if you can only get 6 hours of sleep, maybe take a nap in there sometime during the day, but try to make sure the week of the race, get as much sleep, as much rest as you can to allow your body to recuperate and rebuild all that breaking down process that you've done over the last few weeks. All right, so next is just staying nice and loose, okay? And so this is the time where, every day we probably should do a little bit of stretching, some light stretching, some foam rolling. Make sure we're getting rid of all those little niggles, all those little, kind of bumps and bruises, all those little muscular knots we may have. And so take an Epsom salt bath, get relaxed. I wouldn't probably, if you're going to do a massage, I probably wouldn't do that probably more than 6 or 7 days before the event, especially if you don't get them all the time. So this isn't the week to try something new, okay? Do what you usually be doing, but we just want to kind of intensify it a little bit. So stretch, foam roll. If you run in 3 or 4 days a week, you don't want to, you're tapering, so that means you're backing off. That means you're not cutting it out completely. And so those runs should be easier. Back them up about, if it's the week of the race, about 30% effort. So that means if you run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, run Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but just don't run as far, don't run as intense, right? Don't do as much speed work, because you really want those legs to really start benefiting from all of that fitness. And the best way to do that is to make sure they're rested and ready to go. All right, so here's a big one, and that's fuel. So fuel is gonna be the thing that's gonna give us the energy we need to make it through these tough events and these tough races. What does that look like? What does fueling look like? Now, like I said before, you don't want to try anything new. This is not something, a day where you say, you know what, I don't ever eat pasta, I don't ever eat spaghetti, but the week of my race, the day before my race, I'm going to just blah, 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 okay? We don't want to do that, okay? So what we want to do is, yes, we want to try to eat, fairly clean and healthy as we can, throughout the week, and hopefully you've built up some really good habits and you kind of know your go-to things that you enjoy eating. But this is the week of complex carbohydrates, right? So we want to eat like sweet potatoes, we want to eat, our fruits, and we want to eat plenty of vegetables. We want to make sure they're getting plenty of those complex carbs, because those are going to be the things that are going to get our glycogen stores like way up, which is where our energy comes from. And so a couple of days before, so if your race is on Saturday, our race this week is going to be on Saturday. So like on Wednesday and Thursday, so today and tomorrow, kind of bump those carbs up a bit. So don't go crazy. So if you're only used to eating like say 100 carbs a day, don't eat 300 carbs, because we don't want to get bloated and heavy weighted and all that. We don't want to do all that. We don't want to gain a bunch of weight before our race. But we do want to boost those carbs up just a bit, so that we can help make sure that those glycogen stores are full as they can be. And then hydrate. Drink water, plenty of water. Don't stop drinking water this week. Make sure you're drinking plenty of it. Maybe on Thursday and Friday, or the day before and 2 days before your event, maybe drink you like one electrolyte drink, whatever that may be, whatever your electrolyte drink of choice is, to make sure that you get plenty of energy and you've got plenty of, your body can absorb all that hydration that you're putting in, so that when you wake up, you're good to go. Okay, now last but not least, and honestly probably the most important, because I think this is where people make their biggest mistakes. So they put in weeks upon weeks of hardcore training, their mind's all right, they learn how to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and then they get to the starting line and they don't have a race plan, right? And so we want to plan our race in advance. So if you have a time goal in mind, you need to know, all right, I want to finish this race in 2 hours. So my plan this weekend is I want to beat a goal of 2:20, okay? And so I want to make sure that I cross that finish line before the clock says 2:20, 2 hours and 20 minutes. And so you want to break that down. You want to break that down. What's your pace going to look like? What are some checkpoints that you can put on yourself so that you can kind of stay on pace? And so this is a trail race. This is going to be an obstacle course race. So it's way different than running on the road. So you can't just say, all right, I'm going to run a 6-minute mile because you're going to have, a mile where you may have 4 or 5 obstacles. We're going to have bucket carries for half a mile. And so your pace is going to speed up and slow down so much. And so you want to put yourself some different kinds of checkpoints within the race so that you can make sure you're staying on point, you're going fast enough, or you're not going too fast so that you blow up or bonk at the end of the race. And so you need to have a time plan. You also need to have some sort of a nutrition or fueling plan. So your body only has about 60 minutes of stored up glycogen or energy stores. So that means that every 60 minutes, especially on intense activities, you're gonna feel this kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm down, right? And so your brain needs that glycogen, needs that glucose to keep functioning. And if it doesn't get it, well, then it's going to tell your muscles, you know what? It's time to quit. And so we want to say maybe every 30 minutes, every 45 minutes, we want to put some sort of nutrition in our body, whether that's dried fruits, whether that's, goos or gels or some sort of, like I said, electrolyte powder or, Gatorade, Powerade, whatever you drink, right? Whatever you've been using in training. And hopefully and that's what training is for, is to practice what we're going to do for our race so that we're performing at optimal levels. And so every 30 minutes, every 45 minutes, we need to try to have something that we're putting into our bodies to kind of really just supplement, okay? So you probably have all the energy you're gonna need as far as fat stores that your body needs to get you through the event, but we're supplementing mainly for our brain so that we can keep moving, we can stay focused, and we can stay strong. And then last but not least, the race kit. We need to know what we're going to take with us. And so, what's our shirt going to look like? What are our pants going to look like? What are our shoes, our socks, our watch? What are we going to wear a belt? Or, depending on the distance of the race, is there going to be water provided? What do we need to take with us? What can we not take with us? Because we want to stay as light as we possibly can to make sure that we get through it as quickly and as efficiently as possible. And so, the bottom line is, you want to race well, but you want to look good while you're racing well. So get that kit together, try it on, just look good in it, right? Just look in the mirror, make sure all the seams are lined up right, make sure that it's all just like, yeah, okay, all right, I look good, because if you look good, and if you feel good, you're going to perform good, right? So I'm really excited about this weekend. We've got a lot of people that are really competing, and I think you're going to do really, really well. And so based on your event, whatever you're going to do, make sure that your race plan matches that, and so that you're prepared, right? Preparation is key, and so you've prepared with all this running and all this training. Now it's time to make sure you mentally prepare so that you can kill those times, you can get those PRs, and you can crush that day. All right, guys, that is it for Race Ready. To be race ready, these are the things that I feel like if you make sure you get plenty of sleep, if you make sure that you're staying nice and loose and your body's rested and you're fueled for the day and you've got a great plan, a great race plan, you cannot help but be successful on your race. And so give these suckers a try. Put them into your next implementation. If you're racing this weekend, I know several people in our run group are going to be running some races this weekend. It's a big race week, so we're right in the middle of just race season. It feels like we've got great weather going on, and so you should be getting PRs out there. So good luck this weekend. Remember, we got to change the way we think about things, change the way we prepare, change the way we change, and if we do that, if we change the way we think, we're going to change our lives, right? And so thanks, guys, for coming in today. If you liked the video, if you found it informational, give us a thumbs up, share us with the people that you love, because you always, I can't even say it right, but you do always share James with the people that you love. So thanks for coming in. We'll let you know what our results were. We got a video also coming up next week about the event we did this past weekend to raise money for the Alzheimer's Association. So it's going to be kind of a cool little video we're going to drop just to kind of show you what it's all about. So thanks for coming in, guys. It's all about building a community. Give somebody kudos. Support somebody, love somebody, share this with somebody. We gonna be out. I don't know what else to say. I just don't want to leave you guys. I just don't. I just want to be here with you. Just always and forever. I don't know the rest of the words. I'm sorry. I don't know.
James, are you in there looking at your outfit again?
No, don't worry about me.